So if you aren't critical about who's in that group and who you're spending time with and who's pouring into your life, you are doing a disservice to yourself and you are holding yourself back. Good morning, guys. Welcome to my Tuesday. I cannot remember what day of the week it is today. It's a struggle. So today I thought we would chat about friendships, how important friends are, what it can mean when you can kind of, I guess, level up your friend game, so to speak, but just what it looks like to really transform your life by transforming your friend group and the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Because I think that one of the things that we take for granted is our friends, and how putting the right people in place around you can really just change your life. Because those are the people that when you're in the thick of things, when you are in the midst of pursuing your dreams, pursuing your goals, making things happen, those are the people that are going to make all of the difference. Those are the people who are going to speak life into you. Those are the people that are a reflection of you. So if you aren't critical about who's in that group and who you're spending time with and who's pouring into your life, you are doing a disservice to yourself and you are holding yourself back. So today I'm going to kind of talk through what it looks like to kind of reshape that friend group, to get really intentional, what to do if you can't really make new friends or have trouble making new friends, how to transform all of that in your life today, right this second, as soon as you stop watching this video, how to make that happen so that you can take your life to the next level and you can be a happier version of you, a healthier version of you, and you can just empower yourself to live your happiest and healthiest life. So that is what we're going to talk about today. But first I'm going to do some skincare. So I will check back with you in a minute. Let's talk about friends. Now, I feel like friends is such a interesting space because we all have them. A lot of times we've collected them for years. Sometimes you don't know how you got a new friend. You just have these friends. They're along for the ride. Make sure my phone's on silent. And you love them, and then you meet somebody new and you have new interests in different phases and you're going about your life. And if you're in a space where you want to change it, I know that sometimes it can be really frustrating when you feel like you're the only one who cares about something or wants to do something. And the best thing that you could probably do in that aspect is to find somebody else who cares about what you care about, so you don't feel so isolated in that. Now, this, I feel like with implementing diets, that's the thing. A lot of times people can really struggle because it's hard to do something solo. Not everybody has that willpower. And there's a book called The Power of Habit. I've mentioned it before. One of the things they talk about in that is how willpower is almost like a muscle. You can develop more and more and more of it, but you have to kind of start somewhere to be able to get anywhere. So having willpower, being able to be consistent, and having the people around you who can help you do that is really key. One of the books that I read, I want to say Danielle Walker, who wrote Against All Grains. She's got a couple of different cookbooks. She's phenomenal, but she talks about in her story how one of the things that she really had to do to make the shift to the diet, to the lifestyle that she has right now, to be able to kind of take care of herself, to live in that space, to really do the things that she needed to do. Her husband had to say, would it help you if I did this with you? And because he was able to do that, because she was able to find a partner who was able to say, yes, I will do this with you and walk with her, she was able to get a lot farther. So your friends are so key in whatever goals you have, whatever you're looking to achieve, whatever way you want to change in your life, but they can also be the thing that's holding you back. So if you're in a space right now, or maybe your goal for the next 6 months is to be happy. I think a lot of people's goal is to get happy, but that's like your top goal. You want to be happy, but all you're doing is hanging around people who complain all the time. That's going to be really taxing on you. That's going to be really hard for you. It's going to be a difficult thing to do. Now, finding new friends can be really challenging. So if you're trying to make that shift for yourself, if you're really trying to say, this is a goal, you have to start setting boundaries. That's going to be a thing that's going to be life-changing for you, is defining boundaries, figuring out what you're going to do, who's around you, what you need to change, and being consistent with them, which is where journaling comes in. I talked about journaling in one of last week's videos, and for me, when I first started journaling, All of my used journals are in this bucket right there, and then all of the new ones kind of live right there. For me, journaling is a way to really keep myself accountable. So if nobody else is on my page, if nobody else has my goals, if nobody else knows what's going on, initially I can live with that because I can get comfortable with it. I can get comfortable with making the changes. I have a space to think through it. I have a space to write out what I'm thinking and feeling. I don't have to feel like I'm telling somebody else and they're rejecting them. It goes in here, and this is the place where I can think through it and walk through it and get comfortable with it enough to say, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I take the next step and the next step and the next step. Sometimes your journal is your first friend. Your first friend, and being able to create a space where you are backed, there is no judgment, you are completely able to live and breathe and change your mind so that you can see maybe where are some boundaries, what am I struggling with, what do I feel like are the areas in my life that maybe I need to say no in more so that I can get to my goals, and who are the people that I need to shift in my circle. So friends are a huge deal, but if you're in a space right now where you just think, I don't even know what's going on, I don't know who I am, I don't know who's around me, I don't know what changes I need to make, A, figuring out your goal, and B, writing it down and getting really familiar with it, and then just starting to reaffirm it enough that everything will shift around that goal. The more you repeat it, the more you're going to start to see the things that do and don't add up, especially amongst your friends. And your friends could be the big thing that helps you take the next step, to feel safe enough, to be vulnerable enough, to be willing to make these giant leaps, because you know you have the people that have your back. But if you're at the very beginning of this, sometimes the best thing that you can do for you in that space is to start journaling about it, so that you have a comfortable place where nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to speak whatever doubt and whatever realism into your life, into your heart, into you, so that you no longer want to take that step. Start with journaling. If you've got a goal, make that your friend, and then work on your other friends. So that is all I have at the moment. Guys, I did my hair in one of those like fun times where I'm trying to master new curls and do new things. I don't do my hair very often. I only do my makeup a couple of times a week. And I definitely got to the end, and like I've been trying to master the art of using a clipped curling wand to do both sides of my head, and it's just not going very well. So every time I just know, like know that if my hair ends up like this, it means I tried really hard to do something new and then I chucked it in a bun. So at least I have these tiny little pieces in the front to make it work with what we got. But yeah, I have some work to do. I feel like I'm losing my mind a little bit here. And yeah, that's the exciting thing that's happening. We're going to put laundry up in a little bit, and because it's so satisfying to see people clean things. I just want to share that joy with you. I love the time lapse, mostly because I feel like when I time lapse it, I think that I did something like 10 times faster than I actually did it, but no. That's not the case, but it looks fun. So we will go time lapse some laundry. I think that sounds like fun. Let's go do that. I love that Asher is just like chilling in the corner over here. Let me make sure we're in focus. So, friends, I mentioned journaling earlier as one of the key things that you can do. And I feel like for me, anytime I start something new, anytime I'm starting to grow, anytime I'm reaching for that next phase and I'm still feeling really vulnerable about it, my journal is kind of like my first friend. My journal and Jesus, but like that's like my first friend. That's where I go first. It's kind of where I start things. And then from there, I have the friends who are in my circle that I've realized are my big dream friends. They're the ones that have big dreams for themselves. And so when I tell them a crazy idea, they're on board. They don't have doubt. They don't automatically push doubt. That's just how their minds operate. And I've had to learn who some of those friends are and who some of those friends aren't. And that's okay. Not everybody is going to want the big dreams, to chase all of the things, to do all of the crazy things that you want to do. And the best thing that you can do for yourself as you're trying to make your friend group and your 5 people around you stronger, you have to start accepting that not everybody's going to want the path that you want. Not everybody's going to be on it with you in the same amount of time. And some people just aren't there. That's not their journey, and that is okay. But if you can't accept that, you can't live that, acknowledge that, make that a part of your being, you start to become resentful because you think, well, I'm doing all these great things. Why don't they want to? I wish I could tell you a different answer other than it's just a thing you kind of have to accept. And it was really hard, and it took me a lot of time to do that. Personally, journaling really helped me. Hi. Helped me turn that emotion around a lot quicker. And then I realized who the people were I could tell my crazy dreams and ideas to, because they had those big ideas and dreams. But then you kind of get to a point where, okay, I've been listening to podcasts a lot in the last few months. And one of the things that Ed Milet talks about is this idea of having a temperature gauge, and how if your temperature gauge is set at whatever degree, 76 degrees, you know, it'll always go back to that no matter what. So to change your temperature, to change your identity, certain things have to happen. And so for me, I had to realize that there were certain people who were on my level of chasing bigger things, but I needed more mentors. I needed more people who were at that next level, who were pouring life into me, who were, whether or not I knew them personally or not, were that next step of where I wanted to be and speaking into me every single day when I needed that encouragement, I needed that life. I had to define who those were for me, and you have to define who those are for you. Because a lot of times you're not going to just automatically connect with them. You're not just going to be able to sit down and have coffee with them. And that's okay. That's a goal. That's a hope. That's something you can work towards having. But in the space you're at right now, you have so much capability. Books, podcasts, YouTube videos, people's Instagrams, Twitters, all of the above gives you access to information and people that can be used to change your life. So if you are looking around and think, I'm not happy, and then you look around and think, okay, well, why am I not happy? And you think, okay, well, I want all of these things. Does anybody in my life have them? Is there anybody's life around me that I think that's the life that I want? And if you say no, then maybe it's time to add more people into your circle, to get more mentors, to get to know new people, to use social media to your advantage, to try to meet new people. If you look around you and there's not a single person who's surrounding you whose life that you want, you probably need to be adding some people into your circle. It is what it is. Utilize the advantages and the resources that you have. Podcasts, books, all social media is such a great tool to enable you to get to your next step. And if you are not able to currently create a circle where maybe those 5 friends are like on speed dial for you, utilize those, because those are the people that you can be spending time with. You can make less time for all of the people right now who maybe aren't where you want to be and who are really just speaking negativity into your life, and switch that time to reading a book by somebody who inspires you, listening to a podcast, ditching your nightly TV routine for a YouTube video or a motivational speech or a documentary that'll educate you more on what you want to do. Use your time to your advantage. Set boundaries. It's okay to say no. You don't have to spend time with everyone and their brother. You are allowed to protect your energy, because at the end of the day, you only have so much of it to give. Every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. And as Shonda Rhimes says, no is a complete sentence. So whatever phase you're in your life right now, I really hope that you can utilize all of these resources and tools. Everything that you could have and need is available to you. It's one of my favorite affirmations. Every resource I need is available to me. You just have to look for it. Stop seeing problems, start seeing solutions, and take the time to look at who your influence is, who are the people you're spending time with, how they're pouring into your life, and what shifts you need to make to get to the goals that you want to get to. I love you guys. I really hope that today's video helped you. I know that I'm like chucking my hands a lot. I'm sorry. It's gonna be a thing, but I really hope that today's video helped you. I know how critical it was for me to really just change where I was spending my energy and inner circle and time and being with people. I'm a big fan of community. I think that you need community to get through life, but I also think that you have to be really intentional, because the people around you are always going to pull or add to your energy. And if you're around a lot of people most of the time who are pulling from your energy, you need to change the game, because you're not going to have any energy left to give to the things that you want to give to. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it a like, because it really supports my channel, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm still working on our upload schedule, but it's at least 2 times a week. I'm not sure the days yet. That's pending. If you aren't already following me on Instagram, come hang out over there. There's lots of stuff happening on stories and in my feed on a regular basis, and Twitter as well. I'm trying to get better at the Twitter game. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. It is a good day to have a good day. Bye, guys. Asher? Do you want to make your vlog appearance? Did I wake you from your nap? I'm sorry. I feel like I should start singing the Jeopardy theme song when this happens. Maybe put it underneath in the editing. I feel like that's probably copyrighted, let's be real.